Yes, recording in progress. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adeshalape Oyewusi, and this is the Wholesome Parenting Community Hub, where we believe that children are the heritage of God, and as parents and guardians, we are to train them well. You are welcome wherever you are in the part of the world. Thank you for joining, and for those here on Zoom and those watching from Facebook, you are welcome. God bless you. How have you been? Share wherever you can. Tell your family, friends, male, female, young, old, to join, because this is for everybody. First of all, we just want to thank God for his mercies over us all. And we are going to give a thanksgiving. We start by thanking God for our lives, because if we are not alive, we wouldn't be doing such a session. So we want to thank Almighty God for preserving our lives. Father, we thank you for your faithfulness in our lives, for everything you've been doing, for watching over us, even from the time we've been conceived in our mother's womb, even up to now. It's your faithfulness that has kept us, and we are indeed grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We thank you that we are not just alone. You've put us in families, oh God. You've given us spouse. You've given us children. We are in a community of friends, families, even workers, employees, employers. Lord, we just want to give you thanks. Even thank you for our street, our neighborhood, oh God, because we are not living in isolation, oh God. We have neighbors, we have a community of schools, worship churches, business places. We thank you for everyone in our community. Cover us all in the blood of Jesus, because when there's peace in our community, then we can thrive. So Lord, we are grateful for everything that you have done and you're doing and you continue to do in our lives. We want to thank you, oh God, for our government, our leadership. We are trusting you, oh God, that Lord, you give them wisdom on how to go about decisions, oh God, that they make. Because every decision they make, oh God, it does affect us. So Lord, we are committing our leaders, even leaders in school, leaders at home, leaders in our workplaces, leaders in businesses, that Lord, every of their plans and plans, oh God, will go according to your will. Father, we are indeed grateful and we just want to say thank you. And Father, we want to thank you for this wholesome parenting, Lord. Thank you for how far you've been with us, oh God, promoting your word, oh God, promoting what you think, what you want for families. We know that, Lord, even as we are here today, you even speak your mind through every of the speakers. I cover all the speakers in the blood of Jesus. I cover everyone joining wherever they are in the blood of Jesus. And I say it is well with them in Jesus' name. Amen. So welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining. If you're on Facebook, thank you for joining. If you're watching this at a later time, thank you for watching. And today it's all about beauty, hair, and fashion. And you'll be thinking, what has that got to do with parenting? A lot, because how would you know? Don't let me say everything. Let me just and then let the speaker speak, because I'm not the one speak. Well, I don't usually speak. Well, I did once. So, but anyway, I'd like to welcome everyone, like I said, and I'm going to introduce our first speaker. I want to share our profile if I can. Hopefully I can. Yes. Her name, she's Titilayo M. She's a mother of 4. I can know that's not a joke, taking care of 4 children. Wow. Who loves styling hair for her friends and family since she was young. She also helps her own girls maintain healthy, natural hair. She's on social media handles. Those are her contact details. You might want to write them down now, because you definitely get in touch with her. So I'm introducing Titilayo to you. You're welcome, Ma, for the first time on Wholesome Parenting Community Hub. Welcome, Titilayo.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ma. Thank you so much for the privilege that you gave me tonight. I'm so happy, and I thank God that today has come to existence. And I did not take this today for granted at all, at all. It seems as my dream is started coming true. So thank you so much for choosing me. So my name is Titilayo. I love doing hair. Hair is part of me. I love doing hair. It's part of me, and I thank God for that. It's all about talent and the grace of God in my life, and that's it. So tonight I have a topic that many of us have been experiencing, but we don't know how to go about it. It's called hair breakage. When your hair is breaking, it will lead to something that is particular what causes it. When you start experiencing breakage in your hair, there is some causes that's behind it. And if you don't tackle it on time, it will lead to hair loss, that eventually you're going to lose everything on your hair. And so when it comes to hair breakage is when our strength of our hair starts losing, when the splits of our hair start breaking. That is when you have to notice that, yes, my hair is experiencing hair breakage. Or anytime you use a comb, you comb your hair, and you see a lot of hair inside the comb, that is me. You have to know that, yeah, my hair is experiencing hair breakage. So there's so many things, so many factors can cause hair breakage. One, when you're stressed, it can cause hair breakage because the stress is start from your head. It can lead to breakage. And when you use overeat, like hair straightener, blow dry, it can cause hair breakage. Unlike condition can cause hair breakage. When you're under medication, when they prescribe a medical a drugs for you, and it's so powerful, it can also affect our hair. When our hair is too tight, when you do a hair that is very, very tight, when it's tight, you can lose hair, you can start having hair breakage from there. So there's so many factors that can cause hair breakage. If time is not taken, you might eventually lose everything. And if you don't notice, if you're kind of person that doesn't notice on time that I'm losing hair, because sometimes we just carry the way that, oh, I'm combing my hair is just coming out, but you don't know the result. What is the reason why my hair is breaking? So you have to know what is the reason why my hair is breaking. So that's I always tell people, always be conscious of what you're doing. And if you notice that your hair is breaking, instantly you have to take action. You have to take action. If not, or you're going to lose everything on your hair. And we have to try and less our stress. I know every time especially we women, especially when you have kids, it's not easy for us. But by the grace of God, we thank God for the grace that He has given us. Stress affects. I've seen so many cases when a lady is stressed, it starting for the hairlines. When you notice that your hairline is moving from here, apart, assuming that you're not doing like closure, glue closure, but when you notice that you are not kind of person that do closure, but you notice that my hairline is starts moving backward, it can result to stress. So we have to be very, very careful. And when we are gluing our hair too much, it can also result to hair breakage too. So those are the factors that can affect our hair. But there's some step we have to take. When you know the right products on your hair, it will prevent it. And I always tell people, when you want to comb your hair, you have to start from the tips of the hairs. Don't start your hair combing from the roots. Because when you start combing your hair from the roots, this particular tips is tangled and there is no way the comb can come through. So always start combing your hair from the tips for you not to prevent it not to get a breakage. That is number one. I have to prevent hair breakage. And number two, you have to use the right tools. What I mean by the right tool is that sometimes if you're kind of hair that your hair is very coarse, you have to get a comb that is the open mouth. They call it tooth. The comb that the mouth is very, very big, it's wide, so you can able to comb it. When you have a coarse hair, it's very, very difficult for you to maintain it. But when you have like kind of fine hair or medium hair texture, you can use any comb, but normal comb that can able to for you to comb your hair through. So you have to get the right products and you have to get the right tools on your hair. And anytime you want to blow dry your hair or you want to straighten your hair, you have to use what you call heat protector. Heat protector can prevent it, can avoid it not to break. And also you have to get a cream. There's sometimes we have different type of base. We have oil base and we have water base. Water base is very, very good on our hair. products. When you get a water-based product, it's lock the moisture into our hair. So that's why I always advise people, if you want to get a product, try to read it. If it's water-based, it's very, very good than the oil-based, because the water-based also is easy for you to adapt the moisture into our hair. If I want to give an example, if you pour a water on the floor and you pour an oil on the floor, you can see that the water will always go first before the oil. So that's how the water-based works. It works faster than the oil-based. So those are the steps you have to take when you notice that your hair is start breaking. So those are the factors you have to consider, and you have to get the right comb, the right products, the right to repair it, all the tools that we need to repair it. And again, I always tell people, if you can avoid hair breakage, and especially when it comes to youngsters, the kids. I've seen so many parents doing hairstyle that is not supposed to be on the kids. Kids have to be kids. Kids cannot go to salon and say, hey, stylist, I want this hairstyle. It's the parents have to choose the hairstyle. I always tell them that scalp is so tender. We have to try to avoid it, because our scalp and the kid's scalp is not the same thing. So when hair is too heavy on the scalp, it breaks the hair. And anytime you notice that when you have a patch on your hair, like it's shining, trust me, it won't grow back, because the cell in that particular place is dead. So that's why we have to be very, very, very careful when it comes to our scalp, because it's the tender parts. And when you come to our scalp, the particular place that is very, very tender is our hairlines. I don't joke with my hairlines at all. If someone wants to do my hair, I beg, please brush it back. Because when these hairlines start to break, trust me, it takes a longer time to grow. So anytime you want to do hair, avoid tightness, especially at your hairlines. Hairline is very, very important, because by the time someone wants to look at you, is the hairline for your face, because hairline is just in front of you. You have to sorry. So we have to be very, very careful when it comes to hair doing. If you go to a salon and the person's hand is tight, tell them, please, madam, reduce the tension, because when that tension is too much on our scalp, it affects our hair. It affects it. So even me, when I'm doing the kids' hair, I always ask them, is it too tight? I always ask them question, is it tight? When it's tight, I loosen my hand, because you will not feel it that is tight, but them that is sitting on it, doing the hair, they'll feel it on the scalp. So that's why I always ask, is it tight? So anytime you want to do it, always ask the question, please, I don't want it tight. I don't want it tight. I don't want it tight. And we have to have patience. Patience goes a long way. Even sometimes I do that mistake. If I want to go out, I just want to pack my hair. I just use the comb, poo. At the end, I see a lot of my hair coming out. So we have to have patience especially when you have natural hair. Oh boy, the natural hair take a longer patience. If you don't have a patience, you're going to lose your hair. So patience also involved to prevent hair breakage. And styling, because I always see some people that stick to one particular style. We have to be flexible. We have to be flexible. If you do a weave this month, next month, try and do colesse, leave your natural hair without extension. You can just normal cornrows, leave it, let breeze come in. So we have to very, very careful, avoid continual hairstyle all the time. And secondly, when you kind of person that always wear wigs, and when wig is good, and sometimes it has a disadvantage. The reason why I said it has disadvantage is that because there's elastic that surround the caps, around our edges. And when the cap is too tight here, it also affects the hair breakage, especially our hairlines. So I always advise people, anytime you wear wigs, don't wear it regularly. Try to mix it up. If you know that you don't have time, I think wig is supposed to be a second wife. So if I don't have time to go and do my hair, okay, let me quickly just put it on. But don't do it like regular, wearing wig or regular is not advisable. It can lead to hair breakage, especially when it comes to our airlines. Don't joke with airlines. Airline is very, very tender, very, very, very tender. And when you lose it, it's so difficult for you to gain it back. And also you can use shea butter. Shea butter is a good moisture, very, very, very effective. I remember back in Nigeria, we always use shea butter. It's a natural on its own. It has its own natural nutrients. So we can use shea butter to do oil steaming. What I normally do, when you have the shea butter, when you have sun, you can put it outside or you can put it in a bowl and put it on the hot water so it can melt. So before you apply the shea butter, make sure you comb your hair properly, divide your hair into 4 sections, and start from the ends. Apply the shea butter from the ends, then gradually to the roots. Then you cover it with a cling film or a shower cap for 15 or 20 minutes. After you wash it up, use one shampoo, one base shampoo, one. After they use the conditioner to zip all this thing and wait for a while, then it's gone. So shea butter is also a good oil treatment that can be used to treat hair breakage. Also, when it comes to hair breakage, we have to try. Water is also good. Water is important. We have to drink a lot of water. It helps our hair to grow too. And when you take a wrong, how would I call it? A wrong diet, a wrong food, it affects our hair. So we have to eat healthy food. It also contributes to prevent our hair breakage. And breakage also can be loose. And I always tell people, anytime you want to blow dry your hair or you use tonguing, always you eat potato. Eat potato is very important. It can prevent it not to break also. So we have to be very, very careful. Use eat potato to prevent your hair not to break, because the smoke that is coming out from the straightener is very, very powerful. So use eat potato before you blow dry your hair. And there's some basic that can use. Can I show the product to them or should I put it there?
Yes, please share.
Okay. I have some product that is very, very, I've used it for a while and it's helpful. It's very, very helpful. I'm a kind of person, I always to stick to a particular product. I can use a product for a year or 2 years. If it's good for my hair, I stick to it. I don't switch product anyhow. Because when I switch to a product, I will not know which one is working on my hair or which one is not working on my hair. So I love to stick to a product. And if I stick to that product and I see that there's something wrong with my hair or anything, and notice something is wrong somewhere, then I try another product. I don't like switching to products. Because when you switch to the product, the ingredient they use, and we have to be very careful too. Because we have different type of egg textures. We have A, we have B, we have C, and we have 4. So under those one, we have to be very careful too. What product I need. When you know the kind of egg texture you have, it is easy for you to know the kind of product to buy at the market. I have some product that I can recommend. Sorry. And when your hair is natural, I love leave-in conditioner, because leave-in conditioner is very, very important, because there's some people that scalp is very, the texture of the hair is very, very soft. We call it middle hair or fine hair. It's easy for you to work with that. But when your hair is very, very coarse, it's very, very strong. There's some hair that's when you do, your hand will be paining you. Those are they call coarse hair. So I always advise you, before you start to do whatever on that coarse hair, you have to use leave-in conditioner. Leave-in conditioner is very, very important. You have to apply leave-in conditioner to make it a bit softer. So leave-in conditioner, you have to, I normally use cream of nature, the honey, the pure honey. It's help for breaking. It's very, very good. Very fantastic. Seriously. I'm not here to market any product for anybody, but I've used them and I've seen the effect on my hair and the kids' hair. Leave-in conditioner, pure honey is the leave-in conditioner. It's very, very good. And also have the olive oil, the oil moisturizer olive oil is also good too when you experience dryness on your hair. And also have the Tresemme, the Guarantee Smooth is a heat protector. It's also good too. And also have the Pentel is a keratin protecting oil. Is also good on our hair. And when you experience freezing, when your hair is freezing, it also can lead to breakage. So I have this one too. It's John Feeder. It's very, very good too on our hair. So when you get the right product, it also helpful to prevent your hair to break. Any questions? I hope I try.
Wow. Wow. Shall I tell you?
It's a long process when it comes to breakage. If you don't have that patience, you are going to lose it. You are going to lose all the whole hair.
Okay.
So any question about what can prevent, what can we use? Someone is raising his hand up.
We will take questions later, because
Okay.
we have two other people. But I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. Initially, she's like, oh, what am I going to say? Mr. Titilayo, you've gone way past your time. So you have a lot to say. You do have a lot to say. She was saying, I don't know what to say. Well, you still have a lot to say. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. There are a lot. I have questions for you, so we'll wait till the very end because we have two other speakers. So without wasting too much time, so thank you very much, Titilayo. I'd like to introduce the next speaker. She's, I hope I'm sharing. Yes, she's Denrele Edwards. Now, how do I pronounce this? Aesthetician and skincare formulator. I hope I pronounce that well. She's on social media and it's at Nzuri. I've given a short introduction because we are running out of time, but she's someone that I've known for quite a while. As a teenager. We've been friends since teenagers. So you're welcome. This is our second time because she was there in 2021 when we did the what did we do? Yeah, she was there. She was there. You're welcome, Denrele. You're welcome.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm so sorry. My AirPod is dead, so I am just talking. I hope there will not be too much echo in the background. Thank you, Titilayo. That was such a lot for somebody who didn't know what to say and didn't have anything to say. Good evening, everybody. I always like to start by saying that skin is not a one size fits all. And unlike hair, you know, there's so many different stages that our when you're pregnant, when you're going through menopause. And I was just saying to myself, where do I start, you know, just to talk about skin? It's so wide things to talk about. So I decided that I will talk about understanding your skin through the ages, because I mean, skin is skin and each skin is different, and there are different things that you're supposed to do to your skin or with your skin at the different stages or ages of our life. There's some things that, you know, they're just standard. So I'm not going to go in through the biology of skin and talk about the different layers of skin and stuff like that. So let's just get to the good stuff. Looking after your skin or taking care of your skin, or factors that affect your skin through the ages. What are the factors that affect it? There are two main factors, or there are two different factors. We have the internal factors and we have the external factors that affect our skin. The factors, they will affect your skin's condition, how your skin looks and feels. The right skincare can protect your skin and keep it looking younger for longer, which is what everybody wants. You know, sometimes when I go, how do I know that I am growing older? When I look at my skin, when I remember how plump my skin used to be and everything was just standing like this. And now I go and look at my skin and I see like, you know, indentation, or I see some folds or fine lines and wrinkles. And I'm saying to myself, this is the most glaring evidence of aging, because, you know, with fashion, you can wear like Spanx, and even though you have a big tummy, it will not really show. If you can wear your clothes, you can wear jeans. When everybody wears jeans, sometimes people don't even know how old you are. But with skin, you can tell that your skin is aging. Factors. The internal factors include genetics. And with this, there's some that we cannot do anything about. So with our internal factors, that affect the skin, we can't do anything. Your genetics, you don't choose how or where you're born. So you cannot choose whether you want to have blonde hair or blue eyes. Those are your genes. Other internal factors are your hormones, you know, especially as women. Sometimes we're going through hormonal changes. You're pregnant. There's nothing you can do about it. Your skin is going to go through different stages. Some people are blessed and their skin will just be glowing. And some people, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. When I was younger, I never had spots or anything on my skin until I got pregnant. And that was when I had my first pimple. And where did I have it? On my back, all over the place. And I'm thinking, where is this coming from? What's happening? So those are your hormones. You cannot do anything about it. Another internal factor is, you know, like your health. If you're not feeling well, you have some health issues that can also affect the way your skin looks, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So let me start with genetics. So your genetics determine your skin type, and we have 4 main skin types. So you're either normal, or you're dry, you're oily, or your combination skin. You don't decide that. So sometimes people have oily skin and they're buying products and they're doing this to change. You can never change your skin type, because it is not determined by whatever it is that you do. It's determined by your genetics. So your genetics determine your skin type, whether it's oily, whether it's dry, or normal, or combination. Those are the 4 major types. And I don't want us to confuse skin types with skin conditions. Do you understand? So if you have pimples or acne, that's not a skin type. That's a skin condition. Okay, so we have normal skin. This is normally used to refer to skin that is well balanced. It has a regular texture. It has very few or no imperfection at all. It doesn't require any special type of treatment. Your skin is just nice. And because it's your genetics, sometimes you see people whose skin is very nice and be like, what are you using? You're convinced that's why their skin is nice. But many times it's just their genes, and there's nothing you can do about it. So even when they tell you what they're using and you go and use it, you find out that you're not getting the same results that they have. That's why we say skincare is not a one size fits all. And when I do my consultation, it's always personalized to your skin. So there's also the dry skin that produces less oil. It's as a result, so your skin is not producing enough oil. It lacks moisture, and it's difficult for it to retain moisture. And you find those are the skincare that the skin type that they usually say, you know, they have skin barrier issues. There's nothing they can do. You use something now, and before you know it, your skin is looking dry again. So people who have dry skin, they would usually have like rough texture on their skin. They might have patches. Their lines are more visible, and they're less elastic. So people that have dry skin, you find out when you touch their skin, you don't see it bounce back. You know, it just feels just really dry. Oily skin can be very problematic, and it's probably the most problematic skin. Honestly, sometimes it's actually also the best skin, because it has is when you're older. When you're younger, if it's having issues like acne and it stays firm longer, it doesn't lose its elasticity as quickly as dry skin. or even as combination skin or normal skin. Oily skin is prone to breakout sometimes. And like I said, sometimes when people have oily skin, people think that I'm trying to get this right. A lot of people with oily skin have breakouts, but the breakout is not always because it's oily. Sometimes the breakout is as a result of stress, because people with oily skin, when they get stressed, for instance, their sebaceous glands, which are the glands that produce the oil, they overproduce. And then because they're stressed and their sebaceous glands are overproducing, they start to break out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's, even though oily skin is more prone to breakout, it's not always the oiliness. Or also maybe sometimes you're not looking after your skin properly, you're not washing it right, so bacteria and things like that stay on the surface of your skin. Skin gets clogged because it's not, and then you start to break out. Then there's combination skin. As the name implies, it's a combination of more than one skin type. It can be dry and oily. It can be normal and oily. Usually you'll find
Okay, I think
the other side can be normal or it can be dry. That's what is called combination skin. So I hope I have been able to help us to identify our skin type just based on the things that I have said that we can look out for. If you need help identifying your skin type, or you need advice on how best to care for your skin, the kind of products that you can be using, then you can chat me up later. I offer virtual consultations as well as in-clinic consultations just to help you with that. So I'm going to quickly talk about the genetic aging of the skin. Remember, those are the ones you cannot do anything about. So it will skin type. It will also, one of the things that it does is it will also determine the biological aging of your skin. Now, the biological aging of your skin is different from the premature aging or photo aging. As the name implies, biological aging, it's internal. There's nothing that you can do about it. What happens when your skin is aging biologically? There's a decline in the regeneration and renewal. So when you're younger, your skin takes about 28 days to regenerate itself, which means old skin is dying and new skin is coming out. As you're getting older, it takes longer. It can take up to 45 days for your skin to, from 28 days, when you know that, oh, in 28 days time, no matter what is happening, I will start getting new skin. And then you're having to wait for 45 days. Your skin is not regenerating. So your skin is not shedding itself and is not being replaced. And that helps you, that makes your skin to age faster. When you're also getting older, that's the biological aging of the skin, the sebaceous gland produce oil, your sweat glands produce water. For your skin to be at its optimum, there must be a good balance of oil and water. That's why when people with oily skin start to use harsh chemicals or soaps that are drying on the skin, you find out that, so when you go and wash your face, you want that squeaky. You know how sometimes you want to hear squeak, squeak, squeak when we're washing our face. We think that when it's squeaky clean, then that means that it is clean. But what you've done is you've succeeded in stripping your skin of its moisture balance. That's going to send a message to your brain that something is wrong here, something is out of sync. And then you'll quickly find out that very soon, you're just secreting more oil because your sebaceous glands are trying to make up for that imbalance that you have caused so that they continue to maintain the oil and water. So it's counterproductive, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to, when you strip your skin of its moisture balance, you're going to force your sebaceous glands to produce more, and then that can cause you to break out. Also, with biological aging, there's a slowness or there's a degeneration of your connective tissues like your collagen. Your collagen is what gives your skin its plumpness. It helps your skin to, hold on to, binds water to your skin, and your skin is plump and firm. There's also a degeneration of your elastic fibers, that's the elastin. So there are two proteins in your skin that gives it firmness and stops it from being, being lax. So the and the elasticity to bounce back. When you're younger, when you see little children and you do like this, boom, boom, you see the skin bounce back. But as you get older, because your skin is losing those fibers, your skin doesn't bounce back. You start to see lines, you start to see wrinkles on your neck, everywhere. You just start to see things. I call it, everything starts to go south, basically. Everything is just going down. Nothing is staying up. Okay, so that's an internal factor, biological aging with our premature aging. The premature aging or the is caused by external factors which we control. We'll talk about that. Let me just move on fast. Also with genetics, if you have conditions like atopic dermatitis, psoriasis, these are skin conditions. They're usually caused by genetics. The other internal factor is, I like to talk about that earlier. I talked about, puberty. Let's talk about puberty, for instance. There's this child growing up. How do you know that your child has hit puberty? They start breaking. Little children that had very smooth skin. You know how you say, I want my skin to be as smooth as a baby. The next thing, they start breaking out. They start sweating more. They start developing some different body odors, and they start having breakouts. That's hormone. There's nothing you can do about it. You can help them to manage it, but their body has to go through. Obviously, if they have normal or good skin, you may not see that. But if they have oily skin, then they start to develop those problems, especially because when they're hitting puberty, they're not necessarily also very good with taking special care of their skin and using the right product. Also, pregnancy. When you're pregnant, your body is going through a lot of hormonal changes, and that can affect the condition of your skin. If you notice, one of the things that is common with pregnant women is called melasma. It's a kind of hyperpigmentation. So you find out that some people, their face will just get really black. Somebody who you know that is a light-skinned person, the next thing you see this blackness. It's called a pregnancy veil. It's as a result of the hormonal changes. Another hormonal change that your body goes through and you can't do anything about it is menopause. I used to have like an oily combination skin, but as I started to go older and go through menopause, I found out that my skin was drying out, and it was so difficult for me. That's why through the different stages of our skin or life skin cycle, we're constantly supposed to be looking at our product and changing our product to work with where our skin is at that time. So you can't say, oh, when I was 16, I used to have really oily skin. But now you are 45 and you have dry skin, and you want to continue to use the products that you were using at 16 just because they worked for you, but your skin has changed. And sometimes it comes as a rude shock or as a rude awakening, because it's like, what happened? I didn't change my diet. I didn't change my product. I didn't do anything. So what has happened is because your body is going through hormonal changes and things have happened. Another factor that is internal would be, hold on a second. Yeah, okay. Would be if you're feeling unwell, if you're going through some medical issues, like maybe you're diabetic or just medical issues, those can also affect your skin, especially because usually when you're going through medical stuff, you would probably be on some medications, and those can interact in different ways with your skin. I think I still have a little bit of time because I started late. Do I? Okay, let me hurry up. The external factors that affect your skin. Climate is a major one. Let me just quickly say that. The sun, if you didn't know now, the sun is the enemy of your skin. Obviously, the sun in moderation is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of us Black people, we grew up thinking that my skin is dark. I don't need to protect my skin. Many of us have never heard of the word sunscreen, not to talk of using it. Sunscreen, what's that? I'm not Oyibo, my skin is not going to, but the sun is the major cause of skin aging. So when you're not using a sunscreen and you're not protecting, sorry, my internet seems to be unstable. Can everybody still hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the sun is the major cause of skin aging. The sun is another cause of when you have oily skin and you go out under the sun without protecting your skin, your body will just be producing more oil, which you're probably not getting cleaning as you should. And then before you know it, bacteria is setting in and you're having issues with your skin. So if there's one thing I will tell everybody today is that if you have not been using sunscreen, you want to use sunscreen. So yes, skin of color doesn't burn like Caucasian skin. However, it ages. Now, you may not see it very quickly because, they say black don't crack. Black cracks, okay? Black cracks. You may not see it as early as somebody with a fairer skin, but eventually you're going to see it because the sun rays stimulate the production of free radicals. I don't know if we've heard of free radicals and antioxidants. Those are the things we want to be using antioxidants that will protect our skin from free radicals, because free radicals cause oxidation and stress that will then lead to the DNA damage in our skin and then cause photoaging or premature aging. Do I still have time?
Yes.
I know that everybody would love for me to say this is what you should use for your skin. And of course, yes, there are things that you should use for your skin. But like I said, skincare is not a one size fits all. And skincare is beautiful, starts from within. So if you notice, for instance, that I just have thing you want to do before you go buying products is to find out what is the cause. Until you know the cause, do not start any treatment, because the same way you go to the hospital and before the doctor can tell you what is wrong, they do a diagnosis, they find out what has been happening. You have malaria is because, I have a headache, there are symptoms. So, but you can't treat the symptom without treating the cause. So if I'm going to tell you anything, get a proper consultation if you have issues with your skin. Try to find out what is causing it. Is it the internal factors, which I can do nothing about? Or is it external factors that I can do something about? So I mentioned the sun. I will also mention the weather. Moving from one extreme weather to the other can affect the condition of your skin and create an imbalance. For instance, when I'm in a hot climate, my skin glows. I don't know why. But once I'm in a cold climate, my skin starts to dry out. I always have to change my product. So if I visit a hot country, I am definitely going with a different product. If it's in the winter, I am changing my skincare product, because your skin, the different climate changes will affect and does affect the condition of your skin. That's also why you don't want to use hot water, for instance, to wash your face. To wash your skin. We always tell people, try and let the water be not too hot. Because when you're using hot water, you will strip your skin of its moisture balance. You know how when you want to steam your face, you're steaming your face. Yes, you want to open up your pores, but we'll also quickly help you to close it back by applying something whole. There's so many things. If I were to go on, I don't know where I would start. It's going to be different from what I'm going to tell Titilayo. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are different things that we need to know. And with the limited time, this is the best that I can do. Tell you about the internal factors and tell you about the external factors and tell you that most times skincare is from within. So you need to be eating right. You need to have your greens, your vegetables. You need to have that. You need to eat products that are rich in antioxidants. You need to sleep well. So if you're not getting enough sleep, it will affect the condition of your skin. Sometimes we don't realize that it's a whole range of things. We pick one thing and say, it's because of that cream they just gave me that I just started using. No, it's a combination of things. You're not sleeping well, you're not eating right, you're not exercising. It's going to show on your skin. You want to look for products for people who, everyone, you want to use sunscreen. You want to use products that have antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin A, all the vitamins, niacinamide. I'm sure we've all heard of all these products now, niacinamide, glucosamine. We want to use them. We want to use alpha acid, products that have alpha. If you've seen something that says AHA, hydroxy acid, like glycolic acid, lactic acid, mandelic acid, azelaic acid, they're different ones and they're all for different types. So don't go buying all acids. Find out the one that is right for you. You want to use those, they help to exfoliate your skin. Exfoliating means they help to get rid of dead skin and allows new skin to come out. You want to use a good moisturizer, a good hydrator for your skin type. And if you concern, make sure that whatever product you're using is for both your skin type and your skin concern. So if you have dry skin, you're breaking out, you're not of oil and say, oh, I have pimples, so I'm going to use something. You find out something that will treat your skin type and condition as well. What haven't I said? I wrote down a few things just so that I will remember.
Sister Uju, please mute your phone. Thank you.
Okay, so like I said, your skincare should reflect the different seasons that you're in. And choosing the right products will help to cleanse. So you need to be cleansing. You need to be, so we do it cleanse, you tone, you repair, you protect. Protection is key. Protection is done by sunscreen, applying a sunscreen. And it's not like you put it once and you go out under the sun. Sometimes you will need to reapply. It will only work for a limited time. I hope I've made a little bit of sense and helped somebody.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Denrele. Wow. Wow. I've written a lot. And I'm nodding my head to some of the things you're saying. That it's only Oyinbo skin that needs sunscreen. What do we do? Dark people need sunscreen. My son brought one day we were going and he said something. I was like, son, what? I need the sun. So now I know better. So keep your questions coming.
Can I quickly say something? You need the morning sun. You need the vitamin D. And just as an aside, may I quickly say that vitamin D is something that is very, very difficult for people with skin of color to produce. It's very difficult for our skin to produce it. So sometimes you find out that you may have elements to get your vitamin D, and it's only within a certain number of hours anyway. So it's not the whole entire day sun. That's one. One thing I'll also quickly say with acne, with people that have pimples and things like that, typically they'll think, I won't eat butter, I won't eat oil, but there is scientifically, there is no proof between the type of food that you eat and the condition of your skin. What I can say to you, however, is if you have skin that is prone to breakout, then you may want to be careful with your dairy, because a lot of people especially Africans, they find it difficult to digest dairy. Our body doesn't process it very well. For instance, I'm lactose intolerant. All my kids are lactose intolerant. So usually it's the dairy, it irritates a lot of people and causes them to break out. So it's not the oil that you fry your food with, it's water, it's certain food types that we don't do well with that can instigate breakouts. Yeah.
Wow. This is really, really educative. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please write them down or put them on the chat, because we are going to deal with questions later on. Thank you very much, Denrele. I am so grateful. And I know that you have a busy schedule, so I'm grateful for this. God bless you. Moving to the final speaker. I believe she's ready, eagerly waiting. Mrs. Olabanji Modupe Mutiat is a seasoned fashion designer and owner of Unique Trendy Couture. I hope I pronounced that well. Expert in traditional office, bridal, and special occasion outfits. That's a social media handle. Do take notes and definitely listen and anyway, let me keep my comments for now. Over to you, Modupe. Sorry for.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm Miss Olabanji Modupe Mutiat, the CEO, Unique Culture. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I think I can, if Titi can talk, then I can do better now. And this, my sister, I think you really beat everything. Thank you. You give me that courage. All right. I'm asked to talk about fashion. That's a very wide one for me, but still, I'll have one or two things to say concerning it. Fashion is a very broad topic, a very broad one. Fashion has to do with our normal day-to-day activities. Fashion itself is us, we human itself. In a simple definition, let me just say fashion represents who you are. It speaks a lot about you. And fashion does not have to do with the clothes you wear alone. It has to do, fashion encompasses the earring you wear, your jewelry, your wristwatch, your shoe, everything that has to do with your outfit is fashion. It's not only the clothes you wear alone. And your outfit speaks much about you. It tells us who you are. Your appearance shows who you are. Anything you put on defines the kind of person you are. But mostly we have challenges. We ladies, when it comes to issue of what am I putting on today? I think that has been the major challenges we have. But before I go to that, let me still say much about fashion, as in clothing, your clothes, your accessories, your choice of car, your choice of things you put on, not only the clothes alone, has to do with fashion. They are all fashion. But we women, the challenges we have in particular is I'm having a party today. What am I supposed to put on? What am I putting on? Despite the bunch of clothes we have in our wardrobe, we still have the challenges of what am I putting on today to this occasion? But the causes of this is very simple. And if we can tackle this, that goes a long way to help us to reduce the stress of the choice of clothes you are putting on, you are having any occasion. First, it has to do with our wardrobe. The wardrobe itself, most ladies, I won't say all, but most, let me include myself, just to make it suit the hair. When we do our laundry work, we just pack our clothes and ruffle everything in the wardrobe. There is no proper arrangement for this. And when your clothes are not properly arranged, you have issues of what am I putting on to this occasion? And again, our sense of dressing, it helps us a long way. It goes a long way to help us in determining our way of dressing. Because most of us, we don't really know what suits us as a person. You might have an occasion and think, oh, what am I wearing? But because our sense of fashion is so low, it's not as if it's low, but because we don't really know ourselves, you can't determine, okay, this is what I wear, this is what I can wear that will suit me. This is what fits me most. When I put on a jeans and a top, I'm good to go. When I put on a native attire, I'm good to go. Most of us don't know this. We don't know our color combination. This again is some of the factors that affect us in choosing our outfit. What am I wearing today? But if we can properly arrange our wardrobe, we do the laundry work, you iron it properly, because once you wash your clothes and they are not properly ironed, there is no way you can arrange it. Everything is just trampled in the wardrobe. And once it's not properly arranged, when you're going out to have the challenges, oh, I don't know what to wear. You just bring out all the clothes. I'm sure this is common among ladies alone. It's not applicable to men because they are good to go on anything. They don't have issues. And again, our sense of Ashwebi, it affects us. Yes, let me come to that. Our sense of ashwebi affects our wardrobe, but some people don't know, because most of this ashwebi we go for at times. I have some people, they'll tell you, I don't do ashwebi. Whenever there is an occasion, I'll think of whenever there is an occasion, there should be a color. Some they will tell you, oh, I'm having a wedding ceremony, the color for the day is pink, there is ashwebi for it. If you think pink is the color of the day, you don't necessarily need to buy all the time. Quotes and unquotes, I say all the time, not that you won't buy ashwebi, you know that you won't go for ashwebi, but it should be restricted. You should restrict the way you buy ashwebi all the time, because it adds much to your wardrobe again, and which affects you. There are some ashwebi you bought and you don't wear you wear it just once. After the occasion, they have no use. You can't wear them again because of the paparazzi you do on it, and because of the caliber of people you want to see in the party. You might not be the one that show your cleavage, but because of the set of people I'm going to meet in this one, let me feel among. Of which you know yourself, deep down, I don't do this. I don't open cleavage. I don't expose any part of my body. I love my body being covered. But because you want to show up like others, you're putting on same thing with them. And at the end of the day, it's a waste. You don't need it. And again, you don't need to invest much on some, we don't invest properly on some outfits, because at times you don't know what to match. You just go to the market, and my clothes are free, I don't have much clothes, I need to change my wardrobe. And by the time you get to the market, you all buy different things. And by the time you get home and start matching them, so this one does not fit this. This is not what I'm supposed to combine with this. You just have them there and you dump them. And then you end up not wearing it. And again, the kind of, let me refer to myself as a tailor, because when you give a clothes to your fashion designer and you're with someone, you're discussing with, let me speak with my tailor. I'm with my tailor here. You won't say you are speaking with your fashion designer. So let me just use that local term, tailor. You have to get a proper tailor that can handle your fabric, that can handle your clothing. It might not necessarily be ashwebi, but at times you just sew some casual wears. You need a proper fashion designer to do that for you. Because when you're in the wrong hand, you keep sewing what does not suit you, what does not fit you, you still have challenges. Because when you sew and you don't really like the outcome, you dump it there. And it adds to the one you have already. And the causes of this as well is for you not getting the right person to handle your fabric. This is not form of advertisement, but it happens to so many people. Because very soon, ashwebi will go, you will find it difficult to get ashwebi tailors as time goes on with the look of it. Because most of these fashion designers we have these days, they are just doing ready to wear a quick outfit that suits you, can easily wear about, even to occasion. But once the ashwebi is involved, there won't be tailors to handle it as time goes on, because they will just like, this tailor, the way he or she is charging me is too high, which I can afford, which I can't afford. And because you can afford it, you just like, let me just keep my ashwebi aside. Or even when you compromise quality at times, you go for a cheaper one to make it for you. And at the end of the day, the results will not suit you. You just end up dumping it. And that again adds to the one you have already at home. So we have to get it right. Our sense of dressing, know what suits you, know what you really like as an individual. There are some clothes you can't rule out. You have your jeans is a regular thing, your polo top is a regular thing that you can knock about. So you should try work on your sense of choosing your fabric, your sense of choosing, buying your clothes, even the ready-made. That one goes a long way to help you, to reduce you having too much clothes, which results to, what am I wearing today? How do I combine this? How do I go about this? Fashion, because the way you look, the way you dress, it tells much about you. Yes, the way you dress. If you're putting on a native attire, everybody says, this person is going for a party. It's either you're wearing lace with your head tie, with your makeup and everything. And then when people see you, they can easily identify, oh, this person is going for a party. When you're putting on your suit, nobody knows this is an office person. And when you're putting on a casual wear, they can easily say, oh, this person maybe just to go to somewhere to get something, a supermarket, beach, or thereabouts. Your sense of dressing really determines who you are, and it goes a long way to help you. If you can really get yourself properly, that this is what I wear that suits me, this is how to combine it, it will really help a long way to reduce the kind of just piling up clothes that have no use, they have no relevance. They might be relevant, but it's not something that you wear all the time. Like when you do ashrebi now, ashrebi is just for practice. Sometimes, even when people buy the ashrebi, you can't wear it more than once. All because for me now, fine, I'm a fashion designer. I'm not the native type. I do because I'm always busy. I'm the busy type. And when I do ashrebi, you only see me on just a line. No matter how touch the party is, I just like, oh, let me blush it up with my makeup. But at times when I feel like, oh, this party I'm going to, I have to be the talk of the town. When you're dressing well, you yourself, you will be gallivanting about around in the party. You want everybody to notice you. No matter the makeup you're putting on the body, when you're properly dressed, you want everybody to notice you in the party because they're like, oh, I love the outfit. And the more they keep giving you that applause, you yourself, it gingers you. It really encourages you. I'm like, oh, this is me. People are really admiring my outfit. It goes a long way to tell who you are. So we should just learn that this is what suits me as a person. This is what I like wearing. When you understand yourself better, that this is what I really love wearing. I don't like wearing this. I don't like wearing that. I don't need to copy it. I don't have to imitate what others are doing. Then you have that. The challenges of what to wear will be reduced because your wardrobe will be minimal. It's not as if you won't have much clothes. No, you can. But that sense of dressing, if you get it right, what you really like, what you like putting on, the kind of person you are, it will limit that stress of what to wear today. And if that wardrobe, that one is one of the major things. When it's properly arranged, you ironed, once your clothes are ironed, you won't have issue. This one I'm supposed to wear this one, but it's not properly ironed. And when people see me with a rumple clothes, they're like, oh, why is she like this? Why does she look so unkempt? Because at times when your dress are not ironed, you know the way you look at times. You're like, oh, am I supposed to wear this? This is not really fine on me. And it's because you didn't do the needful. So, and fashion is not something, it's something you have to invest on, but not too much. You don't have to go bankrupt just because you want to look good all the time. Yes, because there are some clothes, you might be putting on a cloth of 100,000 and someone with wearing a cloth of 10,000 will look more better than you that is putting on a cloth of 100,000, simply because the way it is tailored is not really, it wasn't properly made. Yes, it wasn't properly made. Once it's not properly made, you just like, oh, what is this I'm putting on? And that of 10,000, you admire most that, oh. And now these days, there are some clothes you buy. When they tell you this one is 100,000, you still see the China one, or that you go for like 50,000. And when you tailor it very well, you wear it, there won't be any difference between you and that person that is wearing the one of 100,000. You still party, you go to same event, and there is still no difference between the two of you. You still look same way. So we have to limit that cost, because most of these clothes, at times when you buy and you wear, you can't wear it next time. Most of this happens to our celebrity. When they wear clothes for occasion, after all the paparazzi on it, they will end up not wearing it. It's just for a day activities. But there are ways they go about it. They still sell it back. But just that, you lose value for the money, because something you bought for like 100,000, you end up selling it for 50,000. Fine, you've gained that respect for that day events alone, for wearing it and people seeing it, admiring it on you. That, oh, wow, this is somebody. This person looks cute. This one is very fine on you. You still have that. You gain that respect for that day. But after that, you drop it. And this again is still hard to your wardrobe. You still give you problem of, oh, what am I wearing today? Because you can't wear it next time because of the paparazzi, too much paparazzi on it. It's just like, oh, let me just dump it. And at the end of the day, the money for that is gone. So we don't too much of investment of Ashwebi. I think I've said that. Hey, your fashion sense again to know what fits you. Once you know all this, you are good to go, and you choose your fashion designer. If that one too is a very good thing for you. When you choose a very good fashion designer, you don't have issue, and you have to learn to stick to maybe one or two of them that really gets your perfect body fitting. Once you get that, yes, I think that one is one of the major problems. You see some people jumping from one tailor to another. Once they tell you, oh, you made this for so amount. Wow, it's too expensive. I have someone that can make it cheaper for you. And you go there at the end of the day, you don't know when you are doing that. When you pay for something, let's assume you're sewing a clothes. Someone is sewing for you for 10,000. Another one is sewing for 5,000. You've compromised quality. You might not know. Fine, it might sit well on you. That, oh, we are both looking fine. But after some things, the tailoring has to do with the finishing of the clothes, which some people don't really consider. When you see the finishing, the neatness of it, and the quality of materials used in creating it for you, you might not look at all that. You are just concerned about the money. With some people, they really they look out for the value for their money. But for you not looking out for that, you might end up just getting just something shabbily. It might look fine on you, fine, but subsequently, before you know, you have some things to tell. Oh, this thing, maybe I wore it, the zip gets spoiled. Maybe I wore it, the lining inside of it got torn. Even at the party, I've not even left. But still, it sits down on you because we have challenges like that. When some people sew for me, they're like, oh, it's sitting fine on me and I'm good to go. I don't need to spend so much on that. But at times when you buy a fabric of 100, when you buy a fabric on 100,000 and you buy a fabric of 1,000, if it is not well tailored, take it or you leave it. When you buy fabric of 1,000 and is well tailored, you will stand out than that of 100,000 that is not well tailored. Quote it anyway. But people don't know this at times. They just let me just get something. Let me just get a tailor. Just do anything for me. As far as it's fine on me, I'm good to go. No, you don't do that. These are some of the things that they still add to your wardrobe because you get it and you're not wearing it. And then you don't wear it. It's add up to it. And again, learn the habit of disposing old clothes, the one you don't need again. You have to cultivate that habit of dashing out. You take it to orphanage or there are different places, even in churches, mosques. There are some people that can't afford it. You can always take it to them. Because when you reduce the one, you take off the ones you don't really want away from your wardrobe, it goes a long way to help you too. Because everywhere, you know, this one I'm wearing it, they are okay for me. It's not just that you pack the old one that you don't really need with the new one you really wanted. You pack them together, and at the end of the day, it gives you headache when you're making your choice of outfit. That, oh, today again, what am I wearing? But once you can separate the old one you're not using again, you take them off, and the new one are there. Then you have lesser problem or the challenges of what am I wearing today. Men are always good to go on anything. It's only we women. So for us to help ourselves, I think I've been able to make few points. Learn to arrange your wardrobe, iron your clothes, arrange your colors, arrange the native somewhere, the casual one, the office wear. You can always prepare yourself for the week ahead. Okay, today is Monday. I'm wearing this to the office. Let me arrange it, iron it, pack it. The one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Once your clothes are properly arranged in a well manner, then you won't even have any problem of making your choice of clothes for the week. And that will go a long way to help you. So I think with this little talk, I've been able to help you in a proper way and manner to help yourself in reducing the stress of what am I putting on today? What am I wearing today? Because that's the major and the only challenges that is applied to we women. You can always do your bro anyhow, and not really anyhow, but at least your face, when you see it, people can like, oh, you're good to go. But your clothes, it has to speak well of you because it defines your kind of person. Yes, it defines the way you look is the way the way you will be express. You will be express the way you the things you wear is the way people address you. The way you dress is the way you'll be addressed out there. So on the screen, you can see some of the work. These are some of my works I've done so far. You can always contact us. I'm here in Nigeria, Lagos precisely. You can reach out to me anytime, anywhere, when you are ready to sew. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Modupe. Yes, you overshot your time. Everybody has so much to say. I know 15 minutes is rarely enough. It's rarely enough because there's so many things to talk about. Now, questions. Let's get the question rolling. I think the first one on the chat is, what do you do when you have dry scalp?
Shame.
I think that goes to Titilayo.
Oh, okay, I will try. Sorry, I assume
Yeah. There's difference between dry scalp and dandruff. When your hair is over oil, it causes dandruff. But one thing I always say, lack of water. We have to drink a lot of water. Water, according to what they said, water helps a lot when you're experiencing dandruff. And don't wash your scalp too often. I always tell people, what I normally do for the girls is that because our scalp is no natural nutrient, it has natural nutrient on its own, even without even apply any treatment. So what I normally do is that if I wash the hair, let's assume I wash the hair in the beginning of this month, the next month I will not wash the hair. I won't use shampoo. I'm going to do cold wash. When we say cold wash means when you apply only conditioner, you replace the conditioner instead of the shampoo. So cold wash, sometimes you have to mix it in between your washing. Not every time you have to wash your hair, because when you wash your hair often, it takes the nutrient, the natural nutrient on our scalp, it takes it away. So you have to replace cold wash instead of using shampoo. So sometimes we need a lot of water. Water helps a lot. It helps a lot. And when you come to a dry scalp, sometimes when our hair is lack moisture, so sometimes some product that is good for dry scalp. Shea butter also good for is also good for dry scalp. Shea butter is so heavy, it's very, very heavy. But when you have a fine hair, you have to use a little on your scalp, because when you use too much on shea butter on a fine hair, it weighs your hair down. It doesn't have flow like fluffy. But when your hair is coarse, you can manage the what is it called? The shea butter. But my advice, when you experience a dry scalp, you can try coconut oil. Coconut oil is very, very good for dry scalp. Jojo oil too is good for dry scalp. And what's the other one? The other is three. Coconut oil, Jojo oil, and I remember the third one. You can mix them together. It's also good for dry scalp, but try to drink a lot of water. Water goes a long way on our scalp. And not too regular washing.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, I think does anyone have any question? You can either raise your hand or put it in the chat box. I'm monitoring Facebook, so if you have a question, please do put it there. The question I have, you mentioned hair types. How many hair types do we have, and what are they? Because I know you mentioned the C, or I'm not too sure what I heard. So if you can just explain that, please. Your device is muted. If you want to unmute it, please.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
When it comes to our hair type, we have straight hair, we have curly hair, we have 4 types of hair type. And we have type A, type B, type C, and type 4. But our own African, like our texture, it falls onto type 4, type 4C, which that was what they call curly hair. So we have to know what kind of texture it is. So when your hair is so coarse, that is, we call it type 4 because it's coarse hair. But when your hair is a bit fine, that is a bit wavy. So we have different type of texture of hair. Our texture is different. Like my girl's Favor has a coarse hair and Rita has a fine hair. The way I manage coarse hair is different the way I'm going to manage fine hair. It's easier for you to maintain fine hair because it's easy to comb, it's not hard. But coarse hair, you have to have strength to work with it. And you have to look for a product that is on that, they call it water-based. Yeah. Water-based product is very, very, very good because it locks the moisture into our hair.
Okay.
So those are the types of the.
Okay, I was going to ask about that water-based, but you've already mentioned it. Yeah. Now, I don't like wigs. I'm going off extensions. What do I do? You can say I'm natural. I've been wearing this natural hair for a long time now. How do I maintain it? And you can see my hairline.
It's good. Your hair is perfect shape. Yeah. It's perfect shape. If you see some hairline, it's up from here. Your hairline is still okay because when you pack your hair up, you can see the beauty. It's not like it has so many patches there. There's some hairline you can never even look at. They use a dye to just top up it and clean up those faces. So your hairline is still in perfect shape, seriously.
Okay, all right, thank God for that. Okay, moving on. Any questions, please? Okay, there's a question here. It says, what sunscreen would you recommend for women of color? That's to Denrele. Thank you, Titilayo. Your device is muted. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, personally, I don't say, this sunscreen is for skin of color or that sunscreen is for skin of color. The same way that I don't necessarily say that this skincare is for skin of color or that skincare is for skin of color. If I'm going to buy a product, I am looking at the ingredient list. I am looking at what my skincare concerns are, what my challenges are, what result I want, and that's what determines how I make the decision on what to buy. With sunscreen, I wouldn't also say there's this, you should buy this one for skin of color. Now, I can tell you the sunscreens that I typically recommend to people. I always say that, and again, I say that if you live in a hot climate, so if you live in Nigeria, for instance, it appears that a lot of us live in Nigeria, I always recommend a sunscreen of SPF 50. That's the sun protection 50, because it's a very hot and humid climate. So if you were in the UK, you may be able to get away with SPF 30, just because of the weather, even though I always just use SPF 50. There are different brands in the market. Understand that the sunscreen for your face should be different from the sunscreen for your body. This is because the skin on your face is not as thick as the skin on your body. So typically when we're making products for the face of the body, it's different. So buy a sunscreen that is face, a sun has a minimum SPF 30. You may want to use, there's so many products in the market. So for me, it's difficult to say this is the one that you should use. And also because I'm not trying to advertise any product. So buy based on those SPF that I've talked about. Also, there's some that, sometimes one of the reasons why people with darker skin, especially us Africans, don't like to use sunscreen is they use the sunscreen and it's very white on my face. There's so many that are not white on your face. Again, because everything is constantly evolving, isn't it? So the materials or the ingredients that they used to use before are different from what they use now. So if you would just, let me just mention a few, I would say you can look out for La Roche-Posay. It's a brand that I like a lot. It's very good. You can look out for MAC Cosmetics. There's so many. So it would be very difficult for me to say, go and buy this, because I also don't know what you have in the area that you are. And you may want to try it out before you buy it as well. You may want to try it on your skin and be sure that it's not the one that's going to be heavy on your skin and it will meet your skin requirements. I hope that helps somehow.
Okay. Person who there's another question here. I think it goes back to, thank you really for that. Titilayo, some people have hairlines genetically determined. Can you change it?
You mean the hairlines?
Yes.
There's nothing you can do. From my own experience, I'm talking about experience. I don't know. I'm not so deep when it comes to scientists or those people that are really into hair. But from my own experience, I've seen it's difficult for you to gain it back, because our hairline is the most very tender part. Very tender. So I always tell many people, take care of that hairlines. It takes ages. Sometimes it will grow and sometimes it refuses not to grow back. So
what won't wigs and all this extension affect our hairline? As it does affect as well?
Yeah, wigs. When you're wearing wigs often, it also affects our hairlines. That's how, when I was talking earlier, I said that you have to be flexible. When you come to hairstyle, you have to changing your hairstyle often. Not stick to one particular hairstyle. You have to do like protective hairstyle that can protect your hair, not for it to break. So those are the things we have to be trying to have. Too much tie. When your hair is tight, those are the major causes of hairline loss. When you have tightness, when you're doing your hair, when it's too tight, tell the person to lose the hair, because it grips the scalp. It grips it. You can even when the hair is tight, you can see your scalp skews together. And by the time you start losing the hair, it will break. And again, when you have braid on, I always advise people, don't wash braid. I don't like it. Some people wash the braid. I don't like it. When you have weave on, don't wash the weave. Because when you lose the hair, it tangles. There is not even way the conditioner or the shampoo going to wash properly. And when you lose your hair, it tangles from the roots. So when you want to even take your braid out, make sure that when you take one, spray a water or a leave-in conditioner on the root before you start combing. Because when you comb the knot out, it will break. There's no way. So when you apply a water or conditioner, it softens the knot there. So those are the steps we need to very take in condition. And again, when you want to comb your hair, always start from the tips. You can lose a lot of hair when your hair is tangled at the tips. So start combing from the tips down to the roots.
Okay, thank you. Now, one thing I've noticed that both of you, yourself and Denrele, have said is stress. Stress affects the hair. Stress affects the skin type. How do we? I know you're not. That's not your area. But how can we avoid stress so that our hair looks healthy, skin looks healthy? Well, what do we do to? How can we avoid that? I know it's also stressful. It's also stressful to do our wardrobe as well.
Yeah, when it comes to stress, I'm trying to bring this into my feed. That's scalp massaging. Scalp massage is very good. If you can even do it at home, it's not compulsory for you to go to experts. You can use your finger, your toes, your finger like this. Massage. If you have an oil, you can put the oil maybe a little bit warm, and use your finger, dip it in, and put it on your scalp. It also reduces the stress on our hair. Scalp massage is very good. It can reduce the tension. If you have headache, try scalp massaging. And sometimes when I read, there's some particular time I come across some about scalp massaging. They say it also helps your hair to grow. And I'll be trying and be practicing on my own, because anytime I feel headache, when I start to doing that massaging, I feel so relieved. Because anytime I want to introduce anything to anybody, I want always try to do it first and see the impact. So if I see a good impact, then I can express it. I've seen a result of that scalp massaging. It's very, very, very good. And it's very, very, it's good. It helps our hair to grow, according to what they said. It helps our hair to grow. Because I remember when there's one style I did and it affected my hairline. Then I always use, anytime I sit down, I just do like this. Use the tips of my finger to do it. And it helps.
Okay.
It helps. So
So
they
can
should
I
try
say something?
massaging. It reduces stress.
Okay.
Can I say something? So part of my skincare consultation is I usually ask people about their stress level. So I start from like a minimum to like an average or to more. And I actually say to them that, you know, I can help you with that as well. Because again, it's lifestyle changes, isn't it? You have to know your triggers. If you get stressed, you have to know your triggers. What are the things that cause you to be stressed? Because forget your skincare and forget your hairline. Stress can also affect your mental and physical capacity. You get what I mean? So your mental health can be affected by stress. Your physical health can be affected by stress. People get high blood pressure. Those things as a result of stress. So you have to find out what are your triggers, and then you have to find out how to manage them. Because when you're stressed and it begins to affect your mental health and your physical health, trust me, your skincare and your hairline are the last thing on your mind. So especially as you're getting older, you want to just mind that. So it's just, you know, lifestyle changes, looking after yourself. I always say to people, especially to women, you're so busy looking after everybody else and you don't look after yourself. But you cannot pour water from an empty container. So when you're empty and you're depleted, you have nothing to give anyone. You will have nothing to give your spouse or your partner. You will have nothing even to give your children. So it's very important that you know your triggers and you learn how to manage your stress level. So you may want to make lifestyle changes, you know, just staying in a room, putting on some music, lighting candles, using fragrances and diffusers. Like Titilayo said, you know, massages, you can go for a body massage, you can go for a facial. I always advise everybody, you need to have regular facial treatments. You know, you can't say, oh, I want to change my skin. Your skin is constantly regenerating itself. When your skin doesn't regenerate itself, what do you need to do? You need to help it. So you need a professional. I call facial treatments, they're similar to, you know, going to the dentist. So you can brush your teeth at home, but there are times that you need to go to the dentist for teeth whitening. You need to go and remove your plaque. And sometimes you need to go and, you know, do fillings when you have cavities. That's what facial treatments are like. They're like those treatments where you really cannot do it yourself at home. You need to go and see a professional. When you do a facial treatment, whatever product you're using, they are able to be absorbed better into your skin. Because again, it's like you're writing on a blackboard and somebody else has written. So you want to invest in basically just looking after yourself and making serious lifestyle changes.
Thank you. I don't know if we still have questions. If you do, please, yes, I'm monitoring Facebook.
May I say one thing about the hairline? You can't do anything about it. But one thing, Titilayo, is you can also go and have a hair transplant. You know, the world has advanced so much. And, you know, it's very important to me that we don't shame each other for the choices that we make. You know, so if you think that it really bothers me, because these little things affect our self-confidence. People have hyperpigmented skin. It affects their self-confidence and the way they feel about themselves. And the truth is, the way you feel about yourself affects the way you look, affects the way you feel about yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I love the beauty industry, because you can help people to look better. And when they look better, they feel better about themselves. So if you think that you can afford it, then you may want to think about having a hair. Yeah. I'm sorry, Titilayo. You can have a transplant if they want.
Well, okay. Well, take care of it so that
Yes.
it doesn't go first. So we've talked about hair, we've talked about skin type, we've talked about fashion, the way you dress. It all talks about, it's all encompassing, because how you style your hair, what you wear, your skin type, your everything, it just shows, at least it tells us a bit about yourself externally. So it's been good, lovely having Titilayo, Denrele, and Modupe here on Wholesome Parenting Community Hub. Thank you all for joining. We've overshot our time. We're running 30 minutes behind schedule, but it's been lovely. I wish we had, well, if we had all the people at home would be complaining that mommy, you're still on in your meeting. So thank you very much for joining. Does anyone have any addition or what to say? What you would like to say? Or I'm talking to the audience now, audience, both on Facebook and here on Zoom. Okay, if not, we'll just end with a prayer, thanking God that we are alive. Before I go, I know we've not mentioned things about children. Well, it's been women specific, but I'm sure that men and children can take something out of this as well, especially men. They might think, oh, beauty is all about women. They are the ones that have time for all those kind of things. But we've heard about hair loss, how to prevent it, even the skin, and even fashion, arranging wardrobe, putting on something that is comfortable. So if you're a man out there listening, don't feel left out. Take some of the points you've listened to and make good use of it. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining today. God bless you. I'm really grateful that you joined. Thank you to our speakers. They've done very well. I wish you had more time, but you have their social media handles. Do get in touch. Now I know that I need to talk to really about my skin, my hair. Dupe already has my measurements, and she made me, it's something I want to say about fashion and dressmaking. I know some people would know. I recently went to a wedding and my outfit makeup was on point. Usually I don't do that. I don't even wear pink, but she made this pink lovely outfit for me. Now, by the time I went to the party, everybody was, people didn't even recognize me. In fact, when my husband and I walked in, they were like, where's Sister Shalape? Until I said, don't you people realize it's me? So if you are going to that occasion and you want to, look your best, get in touch with Dupe. Your hair, get in touch with Titilayo, and of course, taking care of the skin. Getting knowing how to take good care of it. Speak to Denrele about it, especially as we are now getting older, younger, and we need to take good care of our skin. Thank you very much for joining. Father God, we just want to thank you for a time like this. We are so grateful for everyone here on this platform. Thank you for the research, the advice, the tips, and thank you for even the works of the hands of these ladies that, Lord, helping us to take care of this bodysuit, because if it's not well taken care of, it would even minimize our time here on earth. So we are grateful for this of your children. We commit their trade, their business, their enterprise into your hands, that Lord, you continue to lift them up, that Lord, you even bring in more clients for them, that Father, you even give them more wisdom, oh God, and understanding how to go about doing this talents you've given them, that Father God, at the end of the day, that Lord, they'll be richly blessed. Thank you for everyone who has joined. I pray that, Lord, all those things we've heard will not just go into one ear and come out of the other, but Lord, we really take time to do what we are supposed to do as women, as children, even as men. Lord, thank you for everyone. Help us to have a lovely weekend and a restful and peaceful one. And even if you are going party, Lord, let's enjoy it. All to the glory of your name, in Jesus' name. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ma.
God
bless you, Ma. Thank you, ladies. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. I think